Yes, maing udto ning
Maing
tanan.
udto maing udto sa mga nagtanaw na to karon. Welcome back again.
Yes.
Ug naa mi bisita karon, wailain si Atty. Regal Oliva, ang City Treasurer sa Mandaue City nga mo try sa bugno sa politika karong
Yes, oh.
2025 elections.
Kani pang sayo palang daan mga good luck for
I
the new
know.
endeavor.
I know this is something
Yeah.
new to me.
Very
Politics
new.
is very, very new to me.
Very new. So,
Anyway, isabot mi nga kakibalo jud ka because for so long you're in the government service, right? You're a lawyer, and of course, CPA pa gyud, no? Unya very active in a civic organization like the group like LGBT, no?
Correct.
So ikaw very respected. Yeah, we've been interviewing you for so many episodes, and then we like your kanang
karon lagi
lookout.
siya na live diri
Yes.
dong. Kay Zoom raman to last time.
The last time it was pandemic, no?
Yeah.
Before that, katong there was an issue katong what was that?
I think on women.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Then basta I like your kanang wide but nang musabot bitaw no kanang musabot dili bitaw kanang sa uban nga og black white but you have certain
Because you know, if you belong to this community, dong, you will always be as colorful as the rainbow.
Yes, we'll be talking that later
Later
on,
on.
but first we'll talk about your mga
Okay.
Well, yes.
mga
Muna,
achievements, no?
Muna, as nasulti ni Dudong ganina, attorney, for a while you've been, ang imong statement is, you're not really running.
Yes.
So, what was the turning point?
You know, at first when the controversy was there already, I released a statement to the media out of outburst of my emotions. Na sige, musukol ko bisag unsay mo daganan. You know, but then after careful reflection, I saw myself not in politics good. I have always loved the treasury. As I've been telling everyone that I grew up in the treasury. My mother was a
Yes,
treasurer from in Mandaue City and then got transferred sa Dumaguete.
Cebu
Then went
pa.
to Cebu City.
Yeah.
Niadto pa nagpasay, Calamba, San Fernando, Tacloban, almost all. So ako nagtubo ko ng almost I know that the diversity also that each treasurer's office is not the same from the other. So nalingaw po kay ko sa treasury. And so but then again at a certain point I said, you know, the Mayor Jonas was also convincing me to run for Congress, and he really was very serious about it because he did not even give an option aside from me, no? Wa gyud
Wagi option. Ikaw ra gyud.
ikaw
Wala.
ra gyud ako ibutang kundi ka mudagan wa gyud tay kandidato. But my turning point is my mom. You know, ko kabalo nga my mom will be there on the last minute of filing. Kaya ako di naman gid ko mo file, no. I said nga mo adto ko sa simbahan kaya I will go with my partner si Marco. But then my mom said, you know, you will never progress because the enemy of progress is comfort.
Comfortable
Kung
naman
masyado
kay
na
ka.
kang komportable sa imong pagka-treasurer, di na ka mo grow.
Wa na
Wa na kay avenue to grow, and there's no
Wa na
growth
dread.
anymore. And so if you want to venture into a new horizon, then do it. Kayo, wala may mawala ni mo. I mean, kung makadaog ta, mapildi ta, wala may mawala. This is, you will still be the Regal Oliva I will love. And so as long as there is family behind me, I really don't care what the outcome of the election is, Milds and Dong.
Curious go when you said you mentioned a few lines earlier na bisag unsay mo daganan sukol ko. You're a very person.
Yes, of course. Oo, because you know that person was responsible, and I thought I knew that she was responsible of my transfer, no, of the push for my transfer, and that was the statement I've released previously.
So
O siya po ako makontra karon dong.
Mao gyud. Pero
Anyway.
I'd like to go back sa imong mom. She was there. Was she like supporting you from the beginning, or didto lang siya at the time?
No, I have to be honest. Akong inahan, grabe gud na siya kapursigido when it comes to a change of career, change of anything that will develop her children, mao gud na siya. So when she heard about me running for Congress, and she said, Kuha dayon ni ko, kana bang nakay, mo kuy kana komportable na kay kuba. Unsa mo may akong di nga namudagan pa man ko.
Labad-labad,
Kana laging ilang gisulti ganang musud man ka anang duwa sa yawa kay politika lagi duwa sa yawa ni ko nga ang ako laging ambisyon sa kinabuhi ra gid Mills maminyo og yawa. Pero naabot na noon ko ani ba. So okay, then we will have to do it. And then I asked for the permission of my family na without you I will not go through it because ang una gyud igun ani ako mga pamilya.
Mag-netpick gyud sa imong family.
Yes.
They'll be involved.
Correct. And I don't want that to hurt them. And so when they said we're all ready to do this, then
You
go.
mentioned about family. So, nailan mo ga imong mom ug ikaw
Yes.
and the rest. Wow. Pwedeng you mention about your family?
Yeah, my sister is
Ilan mo kabuo?
assistant vice president of BDO. She's our eldest, and my brother owns a school. It's a music and art school, and my sister is a fashion designer in Canada.
So you're four
Yeah, we're four in the family.
families. So very successful siblings.
Yes.
It's because ilang mom is very strong woman. Man sa
My
Pilipinas.
mom is a strong woman because her children also will not give them problems. Mga buutan man siya anak, pod meal.
like-
So
like Regal, of
makikita ko
course.
sa happiness sa akong inahan, and that's why she's an inspiration not only to her children but to so many people.
Yeah, kay ka na lang iyang pagbalik sa Cebu City. Sa iyang age, niya musayaw pa siya dong.
Lagi.
For tax
Oo.
collection,
Collection?
kinsay kaya.
Kuan siya,
di
nasa
ba?
madiskarte ba? Madiskarte sa kinabuhi. Unsa pa maagi, no?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for seeing that side of my mom. Kay
Yes.
lisod po na ba? Miski ako siyang badlungon, sayo di mami. And you don't really have to dance to really collect, but that's her way of attracting taxpayers, and maybe listen to her.
Yes.
We have different attacks, ma'am. But I never dance for collection mills, but we have a different strategy with my mom.
Yeah. Pero si Ma'am Ophelia manggod kanang naa siya way of kana bang maghatag ni mog comfort nga agoy madakpan ko ani kay dako na kay kog tax. Kana na siya way of explaining nga take action now before it's too late.
Yes,
Mo ginayang
yes.
balik-balik in our
Yes.
interviews kanang magpasabot siya sa tao ba. So I
And
think
don't be
it's in
afraid
your
of
blood.
any tax collector. Ayaw, we're here to protect you, and we're here to also help you.
Ito kay sa ma-sheriff pa imong property, di
Correct.
ba?
Oo, as much as possible, we would like to protect your properties. So just and we would like to extend how long we can help you to pay your tax ba.
So nahisko sa kita about taxes, and we know Mandaue is not sila
Yes, dagan na
dang
nanay
achievements.
naka-award na sila
Correct.
Award,
recently.
of course. No.
I think
Mandaue is number 2
Yeah.
among all highly urbanized cities when it comes to local revenues.
Oh, yeah. Revenue
Because of
sources.
course, Regal, no, you know.
Thank you.
Pero kani siya attorney kaning I know dako gyud kay imong role as city treasurer to make sure nga everybody gets to pay their taxes, makasabot sila, and ang challenge sa mga LGUs karon kanig yung pag-increase sa taxes. How did you do it sa Mandaue na kanang daghan, especially Mandaue nga businesses daghan gyud kay
Yes.
businesses.
Industrial city,
Industrial
no?
city.
Eh,
So,
not only is it an industrial city, we're now shifting to a commercial city.
Yes, both.
Basically, I am surprised over the last decade, especially after the pandemic, from a manufacturing industrial city, Mandaue City has also now shifted to SMEs, no?
Maobserbahan yun nato
Oh,
na.
mas nidako siya, and then
traffic.
ang commercial it has boosted also.
Correct.
So how we did this is that there's confidence among business community
to the local government.
to the local government, especially because number one, corruption is not present in the treasury.
Number one.
Kabalo ka kung wala gyud taong mangurakot diha dapita ug wala po mo corrupt to our business community, the confidence of the business community, the trust to pay their taxes will be very high.
Because it takes two to tango, di ba?
Correct.
Kung walay mangurakot, wala say makorrupted.
Correct.
Kanang position ra ba, it's very tempting.
That is tempting.
tempting,
I would have to say, and I'd be very honest, kadagag mo offer din ha sa treasurer's office, but the will to say no. No, and because you have to give it back to Mandaue City, kay mo may kasweldo nimo, and because we have huge collection, we can also bring back to the people projects, services, the things that they need also in their basic communities.
So, okay, Red.
Kaning ease of doing business and regulatory reforms mo gini siya kanang gina-aspire og mga local government, di ba, kay mga itag business permit hasta pila ka requirements atong
Correct.
kuan. So how did Mandaue nga
Streamline, something like-
streamline ninyo ang system?
You know, a decade ago or 10 years ago, when we digitalized Mandaue City, the digitization of Mandaue City's collection of taxes, especially on business taxes, has truly changed the landscape of business collection and business confidence also. Kaya wala namang goy person to person.
Wa nay chance of kung iuna ni Be.
Correct. Wala
diba?
na ginana.
Kay na naman sa system.
Sistema naman siya.
Sistema naman.
And now, especially during pandemic, no, mo gid tawag natong the pandemic was the greatest
Greatest
disruptor,
disruptor,
no, of
yes.
all time. Because during pandemic, we did not accept
Kanang face-to-face
face-to-face transaction. Tanan na gyud atong gi-online. And so when we had online transactions in Mandaue City, even payments, that made Mandaue City a leader when it comes to digitization. It also became a leader in this part of the country on ease of doing business. Kay mas mo gamay naman imong requirements. And di naman ka maghuwat og tao kay nag-lunch break pa or
tinuod.
wala diya sa
So,
lamesa.
ma-optimize gid imong time every
Correct.
time you visit sa government.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Well, that's kanang unsa na dong kanang
We can emulate, no?
on
Panaminan.
sa mga other local governments nga kanang if imo manggong mag-digitalize na ka sa imong system, ma-lessen gyud ang chances of corruption.
Exactly.
O kanang mga red tape kay wa naman kanang kuha lang kag number, wa naman, di ba? Even sa you go to the banks karon, wa na. Ang imong interface with the teller is when they give you the money.
Exactly. And kana bang moingon pud mo nga because of this one we had to take out jobs. We did not, ha? Wala mi
Because
wata
of
nag-reduce
computer na ma-affected.
ma-affected ang atong trabaho. Wala. Because these people nga nawagtangan sa trabaho sa when it comes to face-to-face transactions, atong gibutang sa field. So sila na,
So there are now more people to monitor tax mapping. mo ba na
correct,
siya,
ang atong
attorney?
tax mapping
Okay.
operations have been extensive, na increase nato og na aggressively campaign for tax mapping operations to know if these businesses nga nag-apply online have been compliant. So instead of them going to City Hall, kami na mo adto dito og mo assist nila kung unsa pay kuwang nila.
You mentioned earlier nga, ni-transform ang madami ito from industrial to something like SME,
Commercial.
Di ba, this would also reflect the zoning.
Oh, exactly.
Yes, exactly. So there is a rapid changes of zoning from industrial to kuan.
Dako kayo dong. Makita man nato even akon lang just for this one sa ato ang reclamation sa atong South Reclamation Area dina sa Mandaue City. Ang atong South North na sa Cebu City, ha. Ang South area di ba napuno na sa una og mga container vans.
Mura siya
Warehouse
storage area, di ba?
Mura na siya naging-ana. Mura nahimo na ang Mandaue City nga reclamation og storage sa Cebu City. Now we're driving them out. So kung makita nimo wala na dinha ron. Gamay na lang kaayong locators dinha karon.
Kuan na mga high-rise.
High-rise na, we have residential
real estate.
buildings already, we have commercial, we have hotels. So the new government center
There
will
will
also
be-
be constructed in that
Yes,
area.
yes.
So munindot na gid pag-ayo ba. And now the container yards are also going to the other LGUs. In other words, we're also spreading our development to other LGUs like Consolacion, Liloan. So mas maayo ning ingon ani nga development.
Nag-disperse sila somewhere else.
Correct. So that we're spreading the progress, we're spreading also, we're sharing the development to other local government
Okay,
units.
or else, kung ano sa Mandaue, ang tanang traffic, anak po ninyo.
Yes.
Diba?
Oh.
Attorney, when you said nga kanang ang new government center, I know there was a controversy sa government center nga kuan man to, di ba? It's a loan sa Land Bank o
No,
DBP?
it is with DBP, the
DBP.
Development Bank of the Philippines.
Then all of a sudden, the council said they wanted it on PPP. But how will it, unsay dagan kung part PPP siya? So,
No, okay.
naay part sa sa City Hall nga mall or hotel unsa man siya?
Mauna siya first nga gi-venture ni Mayor Jonas previously. Maybe before 2019, the route, the direction of Mandaue City's new government center was through PPP. When we negotiated with possible proponents of PPP, the problem was we cannot use the entire building
You have to
as City
ROI.
Hall. In other words, ang kanang pinaka
Premium.
prime
Oo.
nga area, prime locations cannot be used by City Hall. It will only be used by the
Partner.
by the private
big
partner.
partner.
And ang City Hall mag-start na siguro sa 8th or 8th floor up. Now that
Luoy kayo ang musaka dito.
exactly, pero naman ay elevator, no? But di pud pirmi operational ang elevator. And atong best example is Makati City, which has elevators also, pero taas kayong linya, Dred. Makakuan gid na.
Bisan Cebu City Hall.
Exactly. Di ba? Unsa kataas ang linya sa elevator. 8 floors siya ginang Cebu City Hall. So, nagyoy kuan nga mo, we will just have to have the options of using the stairs.
Yes,
And that's one problem that we have when it comes to PPP. Not only that, the management of the building will not be directly controlled by the
Correct.
local government.
Oh.
Di ba? It will be a joint management control. But we all know that when it comes to PPP, dako gid og tingog ang private. Kay ilahagod ning
Sila
ba
may
yung investor. Oh.
Nakakagkwarta.
Maayo ra ning PPP kung dako kayo ang yuta ba. In other words, sige, kami construct sa mo City Hall,
Dito mo
ang
dapit.
all others din ha inyuha na. So, to answer this, the whole government center will now be spent by the city government of Mandaue. But there will also be a PPP counterpart. But the PPP counterpart will be behind the government center. Kanang dako kay diyang yuta nga atong gigamit karon as a relocation
Relocation.
site for
Temporary.
temporary location
Paradise,
site.
Transfer.
something, oo.
Kanang
Transfer.
paraiso din na.
Oh,
Din na.
paraiso, oh.
So, kana sila din ha, mo na ang ato ang i-propose as a PPP area para pod kung unsa atong mag-gain din ha nga PPP or kanang economic gains from the public-private partnership atong ibayad pod sa atong loan diri sa bangko.
Oh, sakto yun, drop. Correct me.
So magtuyok ra na
Basig.
siya, magtuyok ra pod ato ang kwarta.
Pero kanang piniguha karon murag I don't know if I'm correct. Mura naman na siya og invalid na kay nakuha na magid ang
Loan
na
naman.
magid. So that's idea.
That's water
is,
under the bridge na ang kanang PPP that they will be constructing the city government center. No, wala na ta sa PPP. But
Yes.
we're giving another option for a PPP to be developed nga purely
Mo na
good
siya.
ilahag yung
Ilahag yung
operations.
Kanining area sa relocation sites.
Yes, which will also actually, the nice thing is that the full development of the government center will complement the PPP area.
Okay, duol raman, no?
Correct. Oh, likod ra gid siya.
So unsa man siya nga kuan what commercial
There will be what I know is that there will be recreational sites, BPO industries, different
Daghan kay ganap sa
locators.
Mandaue
There's also
dong, no?
mall and hotels also.
Daghang kay ganap sa
Yes.
Mandaue.
Yes.
Si man to ka karon man to ka Park Mall tanaw ka mura magnaas ka sa kung kita ka sa mga building labi nang may
Correct, no?
real estate.
These are Mandaue's best times.
Ito, kay kanang lagi nga area sa una lagi amo makita diha container vans ra.
True.
Di ba? May bungka nga unsa maning lugaran kay tungod duol sa port area kanang
Correct,
inana ba. So
Yeah.
anugon kayo ang property nga kanang premium siya nga property naghihimo lang natong budiga sa
Exactly,
mga empty
exactly,
storage vans.
exactly.
So at least that's something na kuan kanang
Mag-continue na siya nga mga that kind of development.
yeah,
no?
at the same time, since familiar ka ani attorney, this is something ma-replicate in other areas
Yes,
ba?
oo.
Nga through maybe laws nga mapanday para
Exactly.
kanang inaani bitaw ni siya kanang if nabuhat sa Mandaue, I mean, ako may hinumduman gud sa Mandaue sa una, grabe ang industries. As in, ang imong silingan warehouse, or imong
Kanag yung
ang
abot kas
zoning-
Mandaue, ngit-ngit, abog, mo na
Kanang-
siya.
Oh, more may idea na to but karon makita na to nga, hala, nanalagi ni diri.
Yes,
Kanang if
yes.
di ka regular moagi sa Mandaue, kanang
You will be amazed and you will be
Yes.
surprised on how.
ang shift niya ba na ano gid niya iyahang ano. So I think dako kaayo og kuan
Role ang kanang mga
ang
current
LGU, ang LGU.
labi na si atong nasa treasurer. Mo gyud ang
Nabi diha dong way mo dagan ug way kwartang treasurer.
That's true. Kay lifeblood theory na to, no?
Way may tabo og mayong treasurer, way kwarta. Oh, di ba?
So very liquid. Ang Mandaue is very liquid.
Balay good ug mingong mama way kwarta, apuyo.
Mao na.
Oo.
Mao na.
Pero ana ko na kwarta pero nara sa bulsa. Dili mo gasto.
Pero tuan gid na, you know, if you are treasurer, you have to be very wise when it
Prudent,
comes to
no?
spending and prudent also, and
Yeah.
you have to think also what's good for Mandaue City. Tinuod na, mura pog inahan ba nga pangayuan na kag kwarta, and then kay balo ka nga dili man ni dapat gamiton, ayaw pagpagawa sa kwarta. So sometimes I have to say there are transactions or there are supplies that have been disapproved by my office because I felt that
Di pa needed karon.
paninidad karon. We may use it for next year but not this year.
Not
So
a priority. Kana
correct.
you know, pag-prioritize yun. Even if you have the resources, but ang pag-prioritize
Yes.
yun sa expenses.
Yes.
Dili gyud na do nga mag-budget tag 50 billion unya ato pang kolektahon mangita pa tag
Pero na kay
sources.
gipasabot
Oh,
diha.
ay, murag salain na nga LGU.
Oo. Diba? No. Mawala. I mean, I'm not an accounting
You're a
person.
mother.
But I'm a mom. Why would I spend 100 pesos when the money in my pocket is only 50 pesos? Basic, di ba? Maghuwat ko. More ba ka ng gigasto na nimo, wa pa niabot ang kwarta mo na siya diha.
Projections man da, projections.
But ana man, budget maguna siya good. So when they say 50 billion itong budget, doesn't mean to say that you can
Nagiti kwarta.
spend 50 billion,
Yun.
no? So once you can only spend like to nakolekta 15 billion lang, 15 billion na po na
Ito
to
na
spend.
gusto.
So that's why nga the treasurer has to be very prudent and very austere when it comes to approving expenses.
Mao gyud na. So kikay ang role gyud sa kwan.
Treasurer do. Kung ang treasurer mo sige lagyango, yabo.
Mo gyud.
Kanang another naka-interest na mo, attorney, kaning incentives for green and sustainable businesses.
Wow.
Kanang kay bao man gyud ta nga for a while na upaw-upaw na gyud ang Mandaue.
Yes.
Di ba? Especially with industries nga kay industrial city man gyud siya before. Kiunsa ninyo just like ni switch mo to commercial, how was the campaign for giving incentive on businesses for
green
coming up-
industries.
For green industries.
So we have an ordinance right now. I sit down in the board of especially in the drafting of the ordinance. One key point nga naka-shift ani is tax incentives.
Okay.
By giving tax incentives to those who will shift to green industries and sustainable buildings, sustainable transactions and system, then they will get their share of incentives. So pwede tang nasa 50% discount on their taxes or 25% depending on the implementation of their green building. Nindot kayo ni because yes, Mandaue is the 10th smallest city in the Philippines. But when it comes to density, we are the second to Manila. So grabe atong population in Mandaue at a very, very small size. No, we are 1/10 the size of Cebu City. So if Cebu City is 340 square kilometers, we're only 34. Kaya na nakagamay, no? But we are the 6th richest city in the Philippines. So kakakuan po ka din sa the disparity of the whole thing. But environment should be a concern because Mandaue is flat. It's a flat bed.
Yes.
So ang buha pa dong kita to din hatanan. No, that's one. Number two, the heat also, kung heat season po init po kaayo. So we have to shield it from the heat. So nagid tay mga projects
Greens,
nga ato
Kinahanglan
green.
gyud.
So not necessarily that you have to plant trees or anything, but you have to be sustainable in the materials that you use. The glass that you use also. And we also get a commitment from them that they will plant trees somewhere else also para po to mitigate the heat in Mandaue City.
Especially if daghang mga infrastructure, daghan sa nag-aircon. Kung
Correct.
daghan og aircon, ang heat emissions sad niya
Mas magkataas.
So doon na sila a very good example of a waste to energy project. Di ba yung katong karaan nga landfill?
Yes.
Yeah, gihimo nila green nga
Yeah,
plaza.
it's now a park,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, hinumdum ko
It's a forest
si Mayor
park.
Jonas na interview na mo diri last time, meningon siya nga nag-office gyud kuno to siya dito one time to
that's
emphasize
true,
nga
that's true. Wala jud ko ni kuyog ato ha kay. Bitawon iya ginang tinuod ginang nag-opisina siya ngadto tanan pirmahanan ga among gipahatod ngadto para lang gid ma-implement ug ma-close niya ang dump site sa Umapad. And now Umapad is a wonder of its own, no? It has become a park where
That's,
people
by the way, former kuan na siya landfill, no?
it is a former dump site.
site.
Yun. So karon we can jog there and it has already attracted flora and fauna.
Okay na siya dong. Anong di na mabuhat sa inayawan?
Mao na.
Sorry ha, mga compare magiging ako sa
Ay,
City.
magsusuntag Mandaue.
Balingkis Mandaue.
Oo.
So mo na
Muna,
kana bang we can already see the progress of what we are doing.
So mabuhat gid ay.
mabuhat siya.
Mabuhat gid.
Mabuhat gid.
But
It is possible.
Kanipod ako kan kay makuha puhon-puhon og tagaag mayong kapalaran sa Ginoo maadto ka sa Congress. Ang problema to sa Metro Cebu is not kuan kan dili bitaw island murag kan bitaw connected. Basura, you mentioned about baha.
Connected Cebu City.
Magsulbad lang Mandaue City, di gihapon kay from the problem from Cebu.
Precisely.
So this is
Mao na atong problema sa baha dong. Ang baha di man nagikan sa Mandaue, gikan man na sa other, especially Cebu City.
Ato muna og dito.
Padung diri gid nato kay kami may katapusan ba flatbed
Muna,
man
you have a
siya.
very excellent local program.
Yes.
But your mga silingan-silingan,
Oh.
medyo nagkapakapa pa sa program. So, when it comes ng mga inini, mga ulana or whatever, mga disaster, ang good nyo nga gihimo, mahimo yung kuan lang, wasted.
Exactly.
Because,
Luoy kaayo ang local government sa Mandaue kay kami gi-blame. You know, nabiyay ka ng there are times nga other barangays in Mandaue City walay uwan. Init kaayo mo
Kung anong
baha.
gibaha, kay gikas taas.
nag-uwan
oo.
ang
so these are the things nga mahimo nimo dito sa Congress.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
because it's
Do you see the need to really, it's high time to come up with a Metro Cebu.
Sa una pa kay nga project and we
You know
know
what-
how
you
good
know
it
it
is, no? We know how important it is to have one unified metropolis, no? Kanang
Even drainage,
ba?
so, oh,
Kay dili pwede nga Mandaue lang ang mulihok.
Yes.
It should be a cohesive effort.
concerted
O
effort.
concerted gud siya sa tanan gud local governments in
Yes.
in
Pare-pareha
Metro
good na
Cebu.
pod sa
Traffic.
And
Even-
yes, this can be a law. You know, there should be a
Criminal?
law creating the Metro Cebu. Para gid
Metro
makuan
Cebu
gid siya.
Board. Like pala sa MMDA ba?
Yeah. There are problems sa MMDA because murag naay mga resistance from LGUs ba involved nga maripaso siguro na to better
Then we should
one.
learn from the
previous,
problems with
MMDA.
But
Okay.
it's really, para nako,
There's
maybe
really-
kung you're given the chance, basig ikaw pa siguro yung
I hope
makapasar,
so.
ani.
Na at least ba
Yes.
I really came from the ground and I've seen the problems of each LGU. So ang MMDA, the problem there is wala siya penal powers ang MMDA. Na siya enforcement but when it comes to penalty wa gid siya na. So the best that the
Balik yun sa
MMDA
LGU.
can ibalik gid sa LGU sa ordinansa nila. So these are things nga atong yung
Sa
i-check
una
pod.
pagripaso kay even di lang ka infrastructure or everything, even mga crimes, no?
Yes,
Kinahanglan
exactly.
concerted
exactly.
kuan na siya kanang from Metro Cebu kay from Cebu mudagan imagine katong may dakong kuan diri robbery asa man nagpundo dito sa Paknaan.
Oh, true.
No,
That's
so-
why I'm very happy that the Tri-Cities are always meeting together with Governor Gwen, and they can actually just discuss what it is, or what are the things that they have to be implementing for the best of the three cities, because Mandaue cannot do it alone.
Mo gyud. Nya bisan pag imo lagi ng buhaton, bahaon gyapon mo kay ang uwan gikan sa taas,
Lagi.
gikan
Gikan
sa
sa
Cebu
Cebu
City.
City. Padung na diri nato.
dito.
Oo.
Muagim gyud na sa inyo, di man mingon na oops, checkpoint. Di pwede kay
Di
di
ba
na
nato
ninyo
mahulog
yan,
na, di ba?
So kana lang siya mga inana mga calamity sabot mga drainage system mga kinahanglan gyud na uban dagko kay drainage dito. Pag abot sa another LGU,
Gamay na.
Luwa.
So
Magsulwa.
mag-bottleneck hinoon siya, then
Bottleneck.
it will
Traffic,
floods.
management of traffic ang kaninga traffic division sa city napod siya pagkuman kutob siya diha. So
Kaya na lang good, imagine na lang good ng boundary sa Cebu City,
Yeah,
ug Talisay.
Talisay.
Dili makasod.
Muliko.
Sumuliko. Kanang nganong di na mala na nimo gid pala huson and somewhere kanang tungod kay sa boundaries ba. I think there's a better way if a lot of things na buhat sa Mandaue. If mabuhat sa Mandaue, nganong dili man for a Metro
these are the
Cebu?
things nga murag dito na sa Congress gid ni siya nga mga kuan
Yes,
aspect,
sustainable
no?
infrastructure and modern traffic,
Yes, oo.
modern and transportation modernization
Yeah.
is very important.
Bisan gani atong BRT gani for
Exactly,
ano.
oh.
Kung kuto na ta Cebu, niya akong trabaho to sa Mandaue.
Di ka mo siya magamit.
Di mo gamit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
This is Metro Cebu is not just a big metropolitan area but gamay ra gyud siya mura og Manila pa mura
Kaya nakadako ba itong Metro Cebu, ha? It's sa una gid ko to Braon tag Mandaue. Karon we can already feel the development
Liloan, Consolacion.
going to Liloan, di ba?
Yes,
And,
oh.
and this might even extend up to Danao na by this time.
In
And
the
karon
south,
Naga.
Karkar.
Hantod Karkar. Ko na kay progressive na kay ba?
Ang kanalang, I think, ang kanalang presence of malls
Correct.
in these areas means nga, ang viability nga, mga tao, mugasto,
Correct.
mapalit yun.
Malls and
Banks,
banks. Di
oo.
makita gid
Mutuyok
nato
ang mga
kuan.
local economy ba because of these activities, presence of these mga establishments, no. Good na siya nga sign. Pero ang problema, wa ka pa sa atong infrastructure and some facilities to
Yes.
provide
Yes.
space for this kind of development, di
True.
ba?
So, mabalik yun na siya sa previous nga leadership doon.
So for Mandaue, of course they're doing well kay of course makita man sa ilang revenue. Pero napagyud daghang pang struggle nga kanang kinahanglan tong himuon
Yeah.
kay
You know, Rome was not built in 1 year or 1 day, no?
Good.
That's why we have to be cooperative with the system that we have, and to have a good leader and to have a very good team is very important. Mo na importante
that's right.
kaayo nga no, sa pagdating ng piniliay, kung umaabot kay piniliay, we have to choose the
Best.
better leaders
Good.
for our
okay na kay
cities.
kita may apektuhan.
Hindi kita
This is our
magpailad,
future, no.
Hindi kita magpailad.
And besides, kanang election is a chance for the kanang public sa ilang
To correct the wrongs.
and of course to exercise the right of suffrage, right?
Yes, exactly.
Maog yun lagi
Exactly.
unta. Muna'y angay. Pero unsaon taman inig-eleksyon, mahaylo raman tag Ninoy Aquino dong.
Maayo untang
Uy.
dili. Dawata man butari ang imong
Bitaw.
nasa imong kasing-kasing. Butari
Okay.
ang giimong gihigugma.
Yes. Angay
Ano
na
na?
natong hinumduman nga ang eleksyon kada tuig. Nihatag ni dawat kas 500 pero mong pag-antos balig 5,000.
That's true.
See the difference. So kanang we have to vote wisely gyud. Kanang di na tumalikayan nga
And this is-
nagi mga tao nga imang hatag. Dawata.
This is our right, no?
Oo.
Muna nga atong i-exercise atong right, proper aton ni kaugmaon.
Yeah, that's the beauty of democracy.
Yes, oo.
And let us not have anybody trample the
Yes.
democratic process.
Correct.
Kanang another interesting yun ni Atty. Oliva is kaning iyahang women and children's right. Kanang daghan man gyud kay tao cases aning mga abused women, mga abused children, especially in highly populated areas.
That's true.
Diba? So sa imong tan-aw, attorney, what is stopping unsay mga obstacles para kanang maprotektahan bitaw ni sila? Unsay ano sa balaod, kuwang sa balaod to ensure that our women and children are protected good.
Ang problema lang sa Mandaue, no? Mandaue has a very good enforcement when it comes to VAUSI. Our VAUSI desks in each barangay and even in the police stations are very active. But ang problema lang nato, we lack shelters. No, for women to run kung if they are suffering abuse. If children are being abused also, we lack shelters for these. So ataan na or naataan na pero we lack because sa kadaghan natong population, each barangay should have
There's
or
own
each
shelters
district lang
taken.
each district in Mandaue should have a shelter nga madaganan unta ani ang mga abused women and children. And that's why I was if given the chance to become to sit down in Congress, that is one of those things that I will really push for more protection for especially on shelters, no, nga dili pwedeng ang karon mo nahitabo man gud usahay mga kapitan, ang mga barangay officials are the ones pacifying both the husband and the wife.
Di na sila.
No, that's not supposed to be. You're not a
Yes,
counselor.
Yes.
You have to
Wala sa kay
protect.
expertise.
Correct. You really have to protect the woman and the
The
child.
child.
So mao na nga tuag yung tungod ba ang ugatong tumong ba nga we have to really protect them in whatever capacity.
Especially if ang women o ang children are very dependent sa abuser.
Yes.
So,
So, disadvantaged man
yeah,
gid ang
disadvantage
kuan
man
gid
yun. So,
sa ang
mo nang I
women and
think
children.
needed yun ang shelters.
Yes,
Kanang,
yes.
kanang mo ilang kadaganan stayhan while, you know,
Ako
things,
observation lang ko, Nikki, this one of the responsibility of DSWD. Pero by the ang this is very used daghang kay sila giatiman nga super para nako of all the departments sa atong gobyerno kan MC MC naman
Kaning CSWS,
kanang-
mo na pinaka-kuan, no?
okay.
Pinaka-abused.
Kinada ang
Gikan sa
senior
disaster, tanan.
Women, children, disaster pag yun.
maghatag pag yun og kuan
Yeah,
niya
yeah.
udon ni sister maganda pa sa pagkaon.
Yeah, I agree.
It's too much, no? Para na ako nga murag kinahanglan gani ug natunga nato ang kuan sa una kanang Department of Communications and kuan gitunga na
Oh, ang DICT, oh.
na simple na ka ito. Kani it's a very kuan kanang ako magkita bitaw kung nagaluoy ani disability kay di manpower nila kuwang niya naibagyo na yung mga tabanganan sa south no andang pagkaon, in fact in Mandaue na sila murag food preparation
Yes,
center.
we have a mobile kitchen.
No, in DSW7.
Yes.
Naa sa facility
Yes,
in Mandaue.
in Mandaue.
So nakita ko dito nga paku pagkaon andam og na yung mga for the region in fact for the Visayas area.
Yes.
Ang ilang giandaman. So dako ra kaayo ba na mo nang ikaw women and children na po na sa disability. Supposedly mo usay mabasol sa mga luip po nila ba kay nagdakaw sila naghubo ba mga babae ug laki kita
Down
na ko asa mo disability ni mga bitaw
Palagi.
maluita sa kuan kay kuwang gyud
The
sila
implementation good. But you know, there's one interesting fact also, especially in highly urbanized cities, in highly urbanized areas. I will not also discount the fact that while we protect women and children, we have to also investigate properly if the woman is reporting properly. Because a lot of women nowadays are very skinny and they know for a fact that they have rights when it comes to vowsy.
correct.
Nya, bias ang balaod
To them.
sa
Yes, and the scales of justice go towards women and children.
Yeah,
And that's why, as a lawyer, we have to investigate properly if this woman is truly and verifiedly abused, or this child, or if this child is not being connived by the mother to say something against the father. So these are things that we have to also balance, ha?
Murag lisod sa na siya nga part, no?
O di po da musulti nga, pirmi lang yun ang lalaki ang naisala. Kay naman po'y usahay yun, ang babae mismo is using the law to abuse
The
the
husband.
husband.
Yeah.
No, and to concoct stories to get more money from the husband or from the father of the children.
Tinuod na,
Also, we have to be very, very careful on this, no?
Yes,
Especially on passing laws that we have to also balance the scales. Kaya di man na pirmi lang yun nga, atong giprotektahan should be everyone, not only the women and the children, but more so in our protection. Kailangan gud natin protektahan gud ang who is inferior.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking about women and children, because over the past centuries
Yes.
in our country, women has always been inferior.
Tinuod.
Even in the Bible.
Attorney Nay nag-comment diri si Rolando Tabunag. Naa na may attempt to organize Metro Cebu LGUs before katong Mega Cebu initiated by Rafi and
Yes,
Jaika.
correct. Oh.
Nindot kaayo ang vision. It also aimed to provide solutions relative to problem on garbage, flooding, traffic. Nindot if ma-revive to hoping that Attorney Oliva can help if she gets elected. Kulang man good at ato was legislative support
Kana,
and an
legislative.
enabling law.
That's very
That's
true.
correct.
Legislative support and an enabling law. And I was hoping that one congressman in Metro Cebu could have picked that up and then pass that into a law to make it into
remember.
a Metro Cebu.
During attempt actually there was a
Ito
congressman
si Congressman Delmar.
Delmar.
Pero
Pero
si
wala,
was passing good dong. Anugon ba?
Anugon.
Kanang siguro
And buhi
kung
pupod si Aboitis, ato si
Oh,
Mr.
si
Aboitis,
Roberto
no?
Aboitis.
And he was still alive and he was so really passionate about the whole thing.
Mega
no?
Cebu.
Correct.
Blessing this guest sa punto madayon kay there was really some ugna pa to karon basig ma-replicate ang problem sa MMDA. There's really a problem.
Yeah, but
Doon na natay,
ang
kuan,
nice man good ugnaan na nabalaod na siya. You can always
Amen.
modify the law.
Correct.
Oo. Ang
Correct.
problema,
We
kay
can-
wa gyud tay i-modify. There's nothing to execute and there's nothing to implement.
kani sa dakuan this is a very kuan kanang mga layman's observation on kanang mga, sa Congress tanaw ta di wala magita nga they're there for legislation pero usay makaingon mo ta nga mura ano murag
Investigators.
justice murag magna sa investigator may noon nga
Oh, murag
murag
mga
mahadlok
judges,
nga
no?
mo if ikaw nga tao nga ipatawag murag mahadlok imugda na ka sa court of kanang
Public opinion.
so murag na yun ana ba kanang mo'y dagan karon actually so although sakto na sa
Daghan
kay
kay
investigate
committee dong
pero walay
nag-investigate.
kuan gani walay parallel nga mga legislation nga nahimo because of that or naa siguro po wala na pahibaw.
Correct.
Pila na takabuan nagsig-imbestigar
I
ng
agree.
Alice Go.
I agree with Dong ha. I agree with your observation on that one, because investigations is always a power to of Congress, but this should be in aid of legislation.
Correct.
And I just hope that
Ay, legislation
things
mo
can
gawas,
change
ani.
ba when it comes to investigation, that we are not humiliating people,
Yeah, public.
and we are not persecuting witnesses. So mara gyud na importante po. No, sometimes manggod we become victims of our own ego, that we grandstand, especially in the
Yeah, all national TV covering
all
you.
other
in the light of public ba.
Yes.
So mas maayo untang, yes, maybe we can change the house rules one of these days and suggest
Buka
that.
nga ang namutunga diha usay mura na kang na-judge sa public nga sa
Yes,
daan na ka.
that's true.
It's very wrong because it's only the
Pila
court.
na kabuan ta nagsig-investigate ni Alice Go. Na nabay proposed law
Nga, in relation to that.
na napagawas
On immigration,
on kanang
on registration of birth certificates.
Okay, mo man to issue niya.
Sa point ka nang
Kanang
nakavote
pag-file
siya.
og certificate of candidacy wala bay pag-review nga residente
Wala
ka.
mga
So
some
as of now,
sort
wala
of-
pa gyapon tayo
Wala
nakita
pa.
ngayon
So
ana.
maghuwatan ni kuan, maghuwatan ni
Mo ending na lang ang kuan investigation mo wala lang sa kuan.
kalimtan na.
Kalimtan na passing
Pero
pero
wa
judge
na,
na siya.
si Alice Go sikat na kayo. Dagan na kayo magpa-picture niya, di ba?
Taon pod.
Mga ana ba. So wa ta nag-side niya, ang ato lang atong observation mga kuan ba kanang murag na ay something di po ta wrong kay kisa mo ta mo ingon nga wrong no. Kanang there's something kuan ba na kuwang siguro nga inana nga.
Well, the
So,
thing is, we cannot make it into a law also to change the attitude of our Congress.
Tinuod.
Di ba?
Mo gini balaod na
pwede.
pinakalisod buhaton no.
But you know, it should really emanate
Maybe
from a
house rules
person.
or whatever.
And maybe that's why that's why we have elections,
Yes.
because we need to
To remind us unsa man gigibuhat nimo sa tulo
exactly
ka tuig dito sa
Ah,
Kongreso.
and we really need to remind our people to put the right people in Congress.
Tinuod.
mo na siya.
Now.
So kamo, it's your time now nga magpili from starting now on kuan next
Magsusi-susi
year
na.
susi na. Kung sa ilang mga platform, di
Unsa
lang
man sa
kay
kung incumbent, unsa man sa ilang nabuhat. Kung dili incumbent, unsa man sa ilang plano, di
sa
ba?
plano
Exactly.
o unsa ila ang background probably sa kinabuhi, no?
Balik ta arita sa LGBTQ dong.
Oh,
Kuan man gid ni siya kanang ang Mandaue na known man gid siya nga mura ba siya center of LGBTQ plus, like kung moingon ka og month LGBTQ makita gid nimo in Mandaue all
Very
the colors.
elaborate kuan
Kanang
celebration.
ang for that sector ba. Pero attorney, daghan sa kay issues ng gawas about this kaning behavior sa some of our LGBTQ. For example, katong sa Santo Niño, di ba nga kanang nasuko siya aw mo ba to dong katong gitagaan siya tabon kay na short siya niya it was also the way gitawag siya nga
about the ID.
oh yes ana kanang if there's wala pa magibalaod
Wala
about
pa
this,
gyud.
di ba? So pagibalaod. So unsay imong masuggest or ma-recommend wherein dili marispetaran sila but at the same time dili sila mabugal-bugalan. Or kanang at the same time sila sad mismo they have to respect other people sad na kanang okay I'm this so I cannot also insist nga like
Milds, parehara na sa akong gisulti nga di ta makapas og balaod kay atong i-change ang attitude sa tao. What we can usually put into legislation is that the definition of discrimination. Nga kining mga acts and behaviors are discriminatory and that this should not be done. Pero kung bati og batasan ang usa ka LGBT person, di na pwede natong ibutang balaod nga kung bati kag batasan, that's a crime. Cannot. Wa may pagka-krimen ang imuhang batasan, no? Unless you commit a criminal act. The SOGI is very simple. It is very it actually attacks the surface of the discrimination being experienced by a lot of LGBT people. One is education. You cannot enroll in schools because you're a transgender woman. In other words, you cannot enroll because you are sporting a long hair or you're sporting long hair. You're wearing makeup, you cannot enroll. No, that's one discrimination. Second is through employment. On the basis of your sexual orientation and sexual identity or gender identity and expression, you are not allowed to, you will not be accepted to a certain position, even if you are very qualified. Even if you're the most qualified, you cannot, they will
Because
not
of your
accept you
gender.
because of the gender identity and expression. So that this is what SOGI is all about: health access. Access to health is very important. Do you know that if you are if you're an LGBT person and you are in the emergency room, they will not operate until you will have AIDS test.
Uy.
Oh, so the stigma is there.
Yes.
So, kasi kung mag-AIDS test ta sa LGBTQ, so may diferensya sa babae the regular gender nga
Precisely.
AIDS is naaman na siya to anybody.
Oh, but the stigma is there that it will be carried it will be carried by the LGBT people. So these are things that we face every day. And there should be legislation to put a stop to discrimination. And that is why that's one of my focal points no, as a leader, because we have been fighting for LGBT rights and anti-discrimination laws since 2003. So that's 21 years ago. And up to today, we have not seen the light of day. We have seen the light of morning unta during the time in 2016 when Geraldine Roman passed it in Congress, and Congress unanimously approved the law or the bill. But in Senate, it did not really pass. So that's why we don't have a law until now. So that's why I hope that when I sit down in Congress, I will be able to discuss fruitfully and truthfully the need of a law for anti-discrimination.
It's really more on anti-discrimination.
It's more anti-discrimination.
Kani-
Pero kung batig batasan ning tawhanan ni, wa na gyud mahimuan na niya.
Regal,
Hindi kita kapas o balaod nga ang mga
Attorney.
batig batasan bitayon.
we interviewed ka ng somebody from the Fed. Wide sa nangyayang kwan. Pero nihangyo siya nga, yeah. But during school, especially in the formative stage like kindergarten, grade 1, di lang yun sila mo express silang sexual choices because di pa kasabot ang kuan ba ang napa sa formative mo yang pero in high school siguro probably mo yang role sa iyang kuan sa ilang school nga okay naay mga dagan pero yung gitambagan nga don't wear anything nga maka-confuse sa bata nga maglibog ka in the house bapa magtudlo so iya yung giingnan nga dili sa kuno mag-ani nga formative stage kinder ana high school pwede na kuno kay at least na way to
Yeah, kay-
choose no what do you think about this comment?
Okay, why I still do not understand why you put a limit to when a person should know what your sexual or gender identity is. Sometimes your gender identity appears to you at the very early state of your life. Ako, wa ko kabalo. I cannot even identify myself as a boy, even if I was educated in an all-boys school. So I really saw myself as the girl with among the boys. So, ingon anak ba? I hope that they don't discourage people from
Expressing.
identifying their genders and even expressing, but then again, they will have to be very careful in guiding them to be good citizens of the country.
That's correct.
Di man gud na ingon kay trans woman ka, di ka maayong ehemplo. No, it's not. You know, you can be the best example and you can be the perfect inspiration of a person, even if you're a trans woman, if you're a trans man. Wala na siya. There's no difference between a trans woman and a man, heterosexual man. Wala gid na siya difference din ha. It's just that you have to guide that person. Pareha ra ng tao, a bata nga lalaki nga kun di nimo tarong o guide mag-drugs ra na. Man rape ra gyapon na.
Correct.
Ingon ana ba, things like this. Kung di nimo na-guide og tarong ang usa ka babaeng bata, magpatiwara ra gyapon na siya. Same with the trans woman.
Small
and
ang
the
ilang
trans man.
kuan nato siguro nahuna kay bata palagi na kuan.
Why do you have to put a limit to that dong? Di man good sayop maguna siya because it's as if you're telling the child it is wrong. Unya ra when you can already decide.
So these
that's
are the
wrong.
things nga ma-explain gyud na ugnay mga balaod kay naglain ba ang kuan kanang take
Ang
sa
treatment sa kada eskwela.
they are professionals na po sila nga kuan na sila nga mura og concept of thinking ba nga inana. So once this will be stressed out in the law usa na tanan ka nag-iya magud og kuan. In fact, there's also one kuan push nga there's another pronoun for for a certain group.
Ay nako, kaning pronoun, let's not discuss pronouns because do you know that there are 100 plus pronouns already in the world? No? Dili na namin tag he, she. There are 100 plus pronouns. So we cannot even just count. Every day it evolves just like language, no?
Yes,
Ang atong,
yes,
atong language evolves every day. Lain-lain na siya. So itong pronouns pod can also be, but let's go to the basics lang gid muna as of now. Kaya wapag kita naka-SOGI law,
Ang
mag-pronouns
basic,
na ta.
yes, ang
Ayaw, let's take it
Yeah.
one at a time. And the basic thing is that a SOGI anti-discrimination law is very much needed. I have to share to you a story because one time when I was in law school previously, I enrolled in the University of San Carlos, and then I already knew that my gender identity was a woman. And so my expression was really dressing up like a woman. Di ko ako pasudla sa guard. Di ko pasudlon kay mo lagi na siya. So I really fought for this one.
Grabe ang struggle.
Grabe ang struggle because wala pa policies ang University of San Carlos about this. And so that's why when I talked to the dean, talked to the president, they allowed me to go inside wearing my high heels and sporting my hair. But then again, I have to say that after 5 years, graduate na lang ko, nahimo na kong abogado, and now, just last year, University of San Carlos has a policy already on trans students. In other words, we're very happy nga naabot na siya nga na even if there's no law in the country,
Isugdan mo.
other
Policy.
correct
Yeah.
other
Institutions.
private institutions, other local government units have been passing their own ordinances, passing their own policies in schools to protect trans people like me. So, Mandaue City is one. Mandaue has a very strong anti-discrimination ordinance. So, that is why I'm very happy to be part of a local government unit wherein everybody is very, look at everybody as equal. And such an inclusive society, such an inclusive city that everyone can grow. And proof to the fact that I now am running for Congress because Mandaue City does not see your gender anymore. They see your potential, they see your skills and talents and your intelligence on if you're qualified to be in that position.
So, same raw sa gihapon na sa kana bitang i-discriminate ka, you cannot get the position because dili graduate lang ka of this school. Same raw sa gihapon na nga discrimination. So, kana siya dili gyud ta ka dapat i-discriminate based sa kung asa kagikan but sa imong capabilities.
Exactly.
Unsay kaya nimong buhaton, di ba? Mababay ka, malaki ka, ma-LGBT ka, dapat inaana gyud unta.
Mao gyud kay ang tanan ginamara ta sa Ginoo, binuhat ta sa Ginoo tanan.
Exactly.
No.
In his eyes, we're all
basta Maginoo
equal.
na lagi kadung malisang gyud ko.
Para ma-end.
Malisang gyud ko.
Kay mo gina end. Ay binuhat ta tanan sa Ginoo. Respect ba sa
Endgame na. Endgame. Basta Ginoo na ganyan, di na magstorya na.
No.
Ana, wala
Atong
gyud na end
kinabuhi,
game na daw.
whatever.
Wala. Anyway, daghan pa kung tatag mga pangutana ni Attorney Regal, no? Pero kanang apiki naman ta sa unas attorney, kuan lang kanang what makes Attorney Regal Oliva Attorney Regal Oliva?
Oh, I do not know how to answer that. I think it should be answered by people. What makes me is I can only specify two things, and that is my ability to be kind and my ability to love. And if you have those two, then you can go a long way.
Ability to love and ability to be kind. So be kind. Mamangka kag paniud turo.
Ikaw ha?
So
Anyway.
wala dong, wala naman tay oras, naapiki naman ta sa atong oras. So today ato gyud na ila-ila si Attorney Regal Oliva.
Face to face.
Yeah, not just the city treasurer of Mandaue, but also unsa iyang mga panglantaw sa mga butang nga kanang gana iyahang buhaton kung tagaan siya og higayon nga ma-elect sa Congress.
At least naklaro na po ng mga issue ang iyang positioning sa mga issue ug kung sa himuon yan di ba?
Yes,
That's very kuan kanang angay nato nga tan-awon kay that's one way of weighing sa unsa ka kandidato. Dili
Yeah.
ta magtanaw sa ay noon kagwapa.
Ay, thank you.
Regal.
Thank you.
Di lang diha
Ay,
kay
nalang
it's
do.
beyond
Ay, nalang
beauty.
Oh,
Thank you. You know, I have listed 18 of my general plan of action, no? Atong GPOA.
Yeah, mo na siya
But we have only discussed around 5
Yes.
today.
Na siya 18 ha? Na siya 18 kakuha niya. And yet, bago lang siyang naka-decide nga.
Yeah, you know, I
Mulan siya.
made this because I'm going to be interviewed by you.
Oh. So, 5 pa lang to. Sige
Pag
lang,
sulti
nanya
gid nila
tayo.
nga interview ko sa I have to make my general program of action right now. So I have to sit down, and because I'm jobless right now, Milds, so I have all the time to think about it, and to brainstorm with my team, and that's why the nice thing is that I do not make it alone. I make it with a team.
So, una, mao to mga higala si Attorney Regal Oliva nga jobless na sa pagkakaroon. So, I hope na amoy na katunan, amoy na ibawaan ni Attorney Regal. So, wa naman tay oras dong, manamilit na ta. Sa katong wala nakasugod sa among episode karon, pwede ninyo matanaw pagbalik ang Beyond the Headlines sa Facebook pages sa Sunsar Cebu, sa Sunsar Philippines, sa Sunsar Super Balita, o sa among YouTube channel, ang Sunstar Web TV. Hapit na sa kumasikya.
Ay sa kalimot pagpalit sa atong mantalaang Super Balita, ang Binisaya o ang Sunstar Cebu, ang atong English version. Kay kining atong magisutan karon, posibleng guha ugma og ubang mga panghitabo sa palibot, inyong mabasa diha unya. At ang Super Balita mga kuan naman mga 30th anniversary mi karong
Wow.
October 23.
Congratulations.
So mag-30 na mi.
Half sa edad ni Dudong naa
yes.
siya sa Super Balita. Ana siya ka-loyal sa Super Balita.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're wala tayo comfort zone ha. If you want to to improve, you have to go out your comfort zone.
So,
So,
ano pasabot ni mo dong? Sige na lang. Lito, gusto na kayo nag-goal ko ni mo. Mugawas kasi mong comfort zone.
Are you planning something else, no?
Nag-goal ko da. Anyway, mga higala, salamat sa pagkuyog kanamo karong udto ha. Magkita-kita taog balik ninyo.
ako si Dudong Morales, daghang salamat.
Ako si Mildred Galarpe, maayong hapon.